Hi everyone, I'm Shannon and welcome to today's video. Thank you so much for watching. So I've done already 2 eyeshadow palette ranking videos, totally kind of not Disney related, you know, but I enjoy doing them and I enjoy watching them. And those have been 2 of my more popular videos on my YouTube channel. So I am back with another one, and today it's going to be my Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. So this was one of the first palettes besides the Urban Decay Naked. This was one of the first palettes that I got, and I still have the original one that I have. It is ranked, and now I have 8 of them, which is a lot, but not as many as some people. I am also working on a Tom Ford quad and a Charlotte Tilbury quad ranking as well. Those I have a lot. I tend to now prefer quads over palettes just because I think they're easy. You kind of know, okay, these are the shades I'm using, go in, get out, you're done. Palettes, now that I'm getting better with eyeshadow, I'm getting more comfortable with them, but I kind of just prefer quads, the easiness of quads, but I still do enjoy my Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. So let's get started. So I do have 2 that I decluttered. I'm ranking 8 today. There are 2 that I had at one point and I decluttered, and that is the Subculture, which would probably be number 10, and then the Alyssa Edwards, which is fairly new. I bought it kind of on a whim. It was at TJ Maxx, and I got it home and I'm like, there's nothing I can do with this palette. It was just way too bright for me. So I know a lot of people like it, but for me, so I ended up returning it. So that would probably be number 9. But with that, of the ones I have, number 8 is the Riviera, and same type of thing, really pretty palette. I really enjoy it, and it's just really bright for me. The shade that I actually really love is this Seychelles. It's this blue, and you can see it there. Let's see, there we go. It's just beautiful, and that's probably the shade that I really love the most from this palette. I don't use this very often, and if I use it more for accents. Well, I'll use that to line. I'll use one of the top shades to line. If I'm gonna go with any sort of pinks or purples, I tend to use my Pat McGrath's. So I do like this palette. This is the Riviera. They do have, so the bottom row is all mattes. The top row is mostly shimmers, except for this white one right here. But it's a really beautiful palette. I'm just not really much of a color person, but I do really like it and I enjoy it. Okay, number 7 might surprise some people. I've watched some other rankings, and this one is definitely higher on a lot of people's lists, and that is the Norvina. Again, I like this. So first of all, there's none that I don't like. The ones that I don't like, I got rid of, the Subculture and Alyssa Edwards. The rest I do like, just a matter of how often I use them, and I like some more than others. And this is the Norvina, and as you can see, it's all the shimmers at the top and mattes at the bottom. Beautiful colors. The problem is that now that I've gotten into Charlotte Tilbury, I don't use this one as often because I feel like if I want that pink or you know, something like kind of neutral, I go with my Charlotte Tilbury palettes. So I just don't reach into this one as much. So that's the reason why Norvina is number 7. Okay, number 6, again, I think anybody who watches this and has Anastasia palettes will probably be disappointed, but my number 6 is Jackie Aina. Again, love it. Beautiful color story, beautiful, but I've only used it like twice. And again, if I go in with any of like pinks or purples, I tend to go into my Pat McGrath. Also, I feel like this palette wasn't made for someone like me, which is fine. There's so many palettes that I think that are made for, you know, someone that has light or to medium fair skin. This is, I think, made more for someone with a darker skin tone. Definitely I can use it, but I think it's made for someone with more of a darker skin tone or maybe darker features, and someone who's probably more comfortable with playing with color. So, which is fine. I definitely can use this, but it's just one that I don't reach for because if I'm going for some pinks or purples, I'm gonna go into my Pat McGrath. So number 6 is my Jackie Aina. Okay, so my top 5. This one I kind of got on a whim because it was on sale. and I really didn't, you know, I actually didn't know who this person was. It's the Carli Bybel, and I really enjoy it more than I thought I would. Again, I probably use it more for accents, but I love this Chai as the transition shade. This Mandela shade is just, this one's kind of faded, but there, I don't know if you can see it with the light, but it's beautiful. The aura, it really is like, you can get some unique looks with this palette that you probably couldn't get with other palettes. So I go in, I have to take a little bit more time because the colors are a little bit more unique, but I can get some really, really pretty looks with this palette, and I really enjoy it. So even though I got it, you know, on sale, I don't think it's available anymore. Maybe you can get it on the Anastasia website. I will post a link below of where you can find any of the palettes that are there. Most of them are still available somewhere. But I really enjoy this one. I just enjoy the top 4 more. But the Carli Bybel one really surprised me, and I really enjoy it. So this is number 5. Okay, so number 4, and honestly, with the top 4 really are interchangeable. I love all of them. So, and I think their quality is just amazing. Actually, the quality in all 8 that I have are great. They're all, you know, they're great. So no problems with the quality. But my number 4 is Modern Renaissance, and this was the first Anastasia palette that I purchased. I love it. I used it quite a bit. You can't even really tell, but I just love this. This is the one where if I'm going to more purples or colors, this is the palette that I jump into. I won't go into the Jackie and Aina because this is more me. This is more neutral. This, I feel more comfortable. I wore this in one of my first videos. I think it was the video when we went to Universal in June. And I don't know if it was on my YouTube video or my pictures on Instagram that people were like, your eyeshadow looks amazing. And it was this palette. So I really love this palette. This is one, it's several years old. I probably don't reach into it as much as I used to, which is why it comes in at number 4. If you watched my short for the Ipsy Glam Bag X for May 2021, I actually am getting a new one of this palette. I was disappointed because I really wanted the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream or the Patrick Star one size palette, and those, you got one of those 3, and I got this, which I already have. But I have had this palette for a couple years now. This is the palette that I had before I had much makeup. So I may declutter this one or give it to a friend's daughter and then keep that one just so that I have a nice fresh one. I haven't seen any problems with the way that this eyeshadow has performed. I did look up the manufacturing date on a website and through the batch code, and this one was manufactured in April 2017. So it's probably getting close to being expired. So while I was disappointed that I did get this palette in my Ipsy Glam Bag X just because I already have it, I probably will declutter this one and keep that one just so I have a fresh one. But number 4 is the Modern Renaissance. Okay, so number 3 is new to my collection, and it was recently on sale at Sephora. I think it was like 40% off. So I just went ahead and got it. Morgan Turner mentioned that it was an underrated palette. So I picked it up and I really love it. I haven't gotten a chance to use it as much just because I've been focusing on using some other brands right now, but it is the Amrezy palette. Okay, I don't know who she is. I haven't watched her channel, but evidently she's pretty popular, and she's evidently very glamorous, and you can tell by this palette. It is gorgeous. It's got everything. It's kind of got like a Modern Renaissance feel at the bottom, but then like glam all day at the top. This shade Barb is incredible. It's just the most beautiful shade ever. And then this Leo is surprising. Like, I can't believe how much I love it. I love using it kind of like as a liner or just a little bit, just to add a little bit of color, a little bit of fun. I've only used it a handful of times. My biggest complaint for this palette is that the New Yorker, I don't know. And then the OG, they're almost the same. So they're basically 2 transition shades. They're very similar. So you would obviously just use one or the other. I just wish there was a little bit of difference, but I do like the fact that there's, you know, pretty much 2 transition shades in here. But I mean, just stunning palette. It's still available on, it's not available on Anastasia's website, but it is still available from last I saw on Sephora, and I believe on Macy's. It's back to full price, but I would take a look at it, see if you can, you know, if it goes back on sale, get it. Even, I think it's even worth, you know, the full price. But, and also one of the things with this palette is you actually get 2 extra shades, which from a storing perspective is annoying. So I'll show you, when you store them, it's a little bit longer, which just annoys the heck out of me. So I just put it at the bottom, but I like being able to stack all my palettes together. So that is a little annoying. But I mean, from a palette perspective, it's gorgeous. And surprisingly, it is my number 3. Okay, so 1 and 2 were really hard. 1 and 2 I really struggled with, and it kind of went back and forth. But I ended up kind of deciding which one I was going to reach today, and I ended up reaching for the number 1. And so number 2 is the Soft Glam. I did get this one last year, and I love it. It is, it's just so me. It's a great palette. I think if you are looking to get into Anastasia palettes or looking for a good neutral everyday palette, this is a great palette. You got a lot of mattes, a lot of different colors. You have the colors at the top, the shimmers. It's just a great all-around palette. I just can't say enough good things about it. I use it a lot, and it's just great. It's all around. I've worn this at Disney. I've worn it, you know, to work. Well, work, you know, Zoom work, but it's just fun, and it's a great palette. So I think it's very versatile, very, you know, I think maybe people might think it's boring, but I love it. Quality is fantastic. It's a great way to kind of, you can kind of just do neutrals, add a little jump at the top with some sparkle, and it is my number 2, and that is Soft Glam. Okay, so now we're down to my number 1 palette, and I don't know what to tell you. It is the Sultry palette. I got this, now I didn't get it on the first go around. I got this palette in holiday 2020 when they released the Vault, and I had heard about it, seen YouTubers talk about it. So when it came available, and then it went on sale. So I instantly got it, went on sale. It actually went even cheaper at that point after that, but whatever. I'm very, very happy with it. It is gorgeous. And when I went to reach today, this morning actually was a event at my son's school. So when I went to put something on today, this was the palette I reached for. So that to me made it my number 1. I'm still getting used to it. I just love it. And the one thing I really love is this pink shade right here. It just kind of makes it pop. If you have Glam, so I did just get the Natasha Denona Glam. I think this is a good alternative. So this one, I think it's now discontinued. It was a holiday limited edition, but I think you can still find the Vault. Last I checked, it was still on Anastasia Beverly Hills website. Obviously, I'm recording this in May 2021, but so you may be able to still find it, but if you can, I absolutely recommend it. I was very, very happy that I got it. I just love it, and I love this cyborg shade. Today I'm wearing Birch as my transition, Dystopian as the, I guess, crease color, and then Rose Quartz on the lid, and Pearl as a highlighter in the inner corner. I just love it. I mean, this palette, honestly, running late this morning, it was easy. I mean, this palette is just easy. You look at it, you kind of, okay, and if you can be a little bit more creative. And one of the things I love about Anastasia palettes is I could use this and then maybe add some color from the Carli Bybel or the Riviera palettes or the Amrezy, and add some color to some of these because they do complement each other. But if you're looking for a great Glam palette, this is, I mean, Sultry is it. Try and get your hands on it if you can. If you don't already have it, it's fantastic. This is my number 1. So that's it. Those are my top 8, I guess, Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palettes. Let me know what you think. How do you rank? Which is your number 1? Do you agree with me, disagree disagree with me. And then, you know, I guess if I were to say, if someone was to ask me which palette should I get, if you don't have any Anastasia palettes, which one should you get? I would say, starting off, assuming Sultry is now in the vault again and you can't get it, I would say Soft Glam or Modern Renaissance. I think you can't go wrong with either one of them. It just depends on your style. Probably Soft Glam would be my first choice. Obviously it ranked a little higher, but Modern Renaissance, I mean, it was like a staple for a long time for many people, including myself. So I think it's one that you just can't go wrong with. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.